Welcome to Just a Minute. Thank you. Yes, welcome to the show, where I oversee our two players who must talk on a given subject for 1 minute without hesitation, deviation, or repetition. And your subject for this week, teams, is feminism. Remember, players, buzz in if you detect any ounce of hesitation, deviation, or repetition. Nick, we'll start with you. 60 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
Feminism is the belief in equality and the elimination of social, cultural and legal barriers between men and women. Its goal...
David, challenge.
Yes, repetition of men. Men, women.
Correct challenge. David, over to you. You have 55 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
The goal of feminism is to achieve a fully egalitarian society. However, there is debate between feminists and what constitutes equality, whether it's sexual freedom, career achievement, or something else. Some people...
Nick, challenge.
Hesitation. Care to enlighten us what this something else might be?
Yes, ownership of a remote control.
That's a correct challenge. It's your turn now, Nick. 47 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
Feminism originated in the 17th century France, a time where women's value and role in society was framed as the querelle des femmes, or question of women. It was...
David, challenge.
Repetition of women and querelle des femmes in English.
Hang on. I was merely translating.
David, that's an incorrect challenge. Continuing with you, Nick, you have 38 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
La pregunta de la mujer addressed education, marriage, and social mobility as it related to women, and scholars have referenced it as an example of the earliest feminist thought. Education in the 17th century hasn't changed much when you come to think of it, similarly to the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and it will no doubt be the same for the future.
First of all, repetition of there, and deviation because, of course, education has changed through history for women, imbecile. And it's not just cookery and economics that they teach women today.
That's a correct challenge, David. You have 31 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
Moving swiftly on.
Nick, challenge.
Hesitation, not swiftly enough.
I'll have to give him that one, I'm afraid. Back to you, Nick. You have 30 seconds on the subject of feminism, starting now.
Perhaps the most seminal work of modern feminism is The Vindication of Rights for Women, written by Mary Wollstonecraft in 1792. It argued for ladies to become whole, independent people and to fully realise their potential and to contribute to the betterment of society, as well as the family and home. Her book was clear to outline a need for a change, and early feminists looked to it as an enduring guide. It is available at all good bookshops at a very reasonable $14.99 while stocks last. What?
David, challenge.
No, deviation, because it is cheaper on Amazon.
Now you've got to talk about the 3 waves of feminism with the time that you have left. Best of luck with that.
David takes over. You have 26 seconds on the not 1, not 2, but 3 waves of feminism over the course of history, without hesitation, deviation, or repetition, starting now.
History saw 3 waves of feminism. The first of which started in the 1800s, which was the movement of the suffrages. They made progression in 1860, when the Married Women's Property Act was introduced for house ownership, joint child custody and wage retention for ladies. 40 years later, Congress ratified the 19th Amendment, granting females the right to vote. Secondly was in the 1970s, a decade where older girls amplified a wide array of political beliefs and ideologies, issues including rape, abortion, domestic violence, and access to infant care came across as also in the forefront of their manifestos. Third and finally was the early 90s, introducing the concept of power feminism, and urging madams to embrace their sexuality and reclaim femininity in a positive light. The movement in addition tackled body image, transgenders and sweatshop labour, along with reproductive freedom and workplace equality. It is perhaps safe to say that today's generations of the opposite sex haven't ignored the benefits won by past feminists. Whatever women decide to do, at least they now have that ability to choose. And
Nick challenge.
Well, clearly hesitation, but I've got to say a good attempt at condensing nearly 200 years of history in 25 seconds. Bravo.
Okay, well, Nick, after that sterling effort from David, you now have 1 second, yes, 1 second, on the subject of feminism, starting now.
Girls rule, okay?
Well, that's all we have time for this week. My thanks to our players and to you at home for watching, and join me at the same time next week when we play Just a Minute.